5. Okay. Now, if I declare a variable as local, it will be available to only that function. If you declare it as a global, it will be available to all the functions inside that C program, right? So my requirement is like I want to declare a function, I want to declare a variable which should be available to function 1 and function 2. It should not be available to function 3, 4, 5. Okay, that kind of requirement we don't have in C programming. If you declare a variable as global, it will be available to all. If you declare it as a local, it will be available to only that function. My requirement is like I want to use a function like a balance variable or something else between 2-3 functions. Okay, inside this file I have more functions like 6 functions. Okay, I want to make my data available to, data in the sense variable. I want to make my data available to some functions and I want to restrict other functions not to use my data. So this kind of facility is not there in C. This kind of things, if you declare it as a global, it will be used by others. This leads to data insecurity. Okay, so to avoid that one, we have something called encapsulation. We have a feature called encapsulation. Okay, we have a feature called encapsulation in Java. Using that one, we can achieve this one. Okay, then how do we achieve it? We'll see soon by end of this class. Okay, we have a feature called encapsulation. What is it? Okay, encapsulation is the process of binding the data and its related functionalities into a single unit. Now, I want to use, here you guys understood the problem. Now, my intention is I want to use this X available to only function 1, 2, 3 and I want to make this unavailable to 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, this X and whatever the functions 1, 2, 3, the functions which are using that data X will make it into a single unit. Okay, and other things will make it into another unit. Okay, by this way we can avoid the usage of X by function 4, 5 and 6. Then how to make it into different units. Okay, that we can achieve using a concept called class. Okay, how to make it? Class is a keyword in Java. You have to write class name. Okay, class name and then curly braces opening and closing curly braces. Okay, you have to write a class. Class name can be anything. This is the syntax to write the class. Okay, class space, class name and then open curly braces and closed curly braces. Inside that you move int X and function 1, function 2, function 3. That means that variable or data and its related functionalities are into one single unit. Okay, this is how we'll make it. One second. Okay, this is how we'll make the text variable available to some functions. The functions which are not going to use are the functions for which we don't want to allow the usage of X. You make it into another category. That means another class. Okay, class. Okay, class name. Class name can be some no uses X. Okay, X data no uses. It can be anything like a variable name. We can give any name. Okay, and you move other functions into this block. Okay, now I categorized these into two. Okay, one category is the functions which uses X. I moved into one class. and the one which are not going to use X. Actually, they can use it if it is a C program. Here, my intention is I should not allow other functions to use X. Okay, that is the reason I moved those into another block. Okay, so here to write like this, we use class keyword and class name. Class name can be class, okay, uses X. Okay, there is a class name uses X. Okay, so inside that class, I wrote the data and my functions which uses that data. I wrote another class which do not use X. Okay, so I wrote two classes like this. Okay, so this is how we'll write the class. So class, inside class, what are there? Variables and functions. This concept of binding the data in the sense here X and its related functionalities. That means the functions which uses data X into a single unit using class concept is called encapsulation. Okay, so encapsulation is the process of binding the data and its functions into a single unit is called encapsulation. How are we achieving encapsulation? Using class concept. So if you use classes concept and if you prepare classes like this, then that data insecurity concept we can avoid. Okay, so we can achieve data security like this. Okay, so you write a class and whatever the functions which are going to use that, you keep it in one class. Okay, if some functions you don't want to provide your data usage, you make those classes into different category or into different class. Okay, now is it clear? Any doubt how to write a class and what is the use of this? Okay, so encapsulation is the one of the Java feature. Okay, using this we can make this data available to some members and we can make it unavailable to some other members. How to do that? Using classes concept. Okay, then how to write class? Class space class name. Okay, class is a keyword. Okay, after that open curly braces and closing curly braces. Inside that you write data and the functions which uses that data into a single block. Okay, this is how we'll achieve data security in Java using encapsulation. Okay, now you guys understood how to write a class. Okay, now we'll go to Java terminology. Okay, we'll call variables as data or data members, functions as methods. Okay, see inside class what are there? Variables and functions, right? These variables we call it as data and these functions we call it as in Java terminology methods. From now onwards, we are not going to call it as a function, we will call it as a method. Okay? Now, a Java class contains variables and methods. Altogether, variables and methods, combinedly we call it as members of the class. Okay? All these are members of the class. What are the members of the class? Variables and methods. Okay? Now, the process of binding data and related methods. Not all the methods, related methods.
I think
that means
methods. The sound is breaking.
Oh, is it? See, Arun, now is it okay? Arun?
I can hear it. It's fine for me.
Okay. Arun, Sunil, are you able to
Hello,
hear?
is it Venkat is audible to everyone?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey Arun, this is
Venkat, it is fine for me.
yeah, it is fine for me too.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So encapsulation. Okay. Encapsulation is the process of binding data and its related methods into a single unit by using class is called encapsulation. Okay. Whenever you write a class, for that there won't be any memory allocation in the RAM. Okay. For classes, there won't be any memory allocation. It is like a template. Okay. It's like our home plan, like a plan, just a template. So actual things will be, actually memory will be allocated for these things, variables and all members of the class when we create a object. Okay. Generally, there won't be any memory allocation for class. Suppose index is there. For index, there won't be any memory allocation inside RAM, like a variable x. Okay. When it will allocate memory, whenever you create object for this class, then only memory will be allocated for the members of the class. Okay. Then what is object? Okay. Object is dynamically memory allocation for the class members. Object is memory allocation for class. Okay. Or dynamically memory allocation is called as instantiation. We call it as instantiating class is called object. That means dynamically allocating memory for the class is called object. Then how to allocate memory for that class? Okay, that means how to create the object. Okay, so whenever you create object, then only memory will be allocated for that class members. So if you have a class X, okay, now let me move to Eclipse. See, you guys, maybe this session, most of the times you will be viewing this. Next time onwards, you can start practicing. Okay. First of all, whenever you launch, let me launch this Eclipse. After installation of Java, you guys try to download Eclipse. If it is a installer, install it, or else just unzip it. Then you will get Eclipse shortcut. Okay, like this. Whenever you click on that shortcut, it will ask you to select the workspace. Workspace is a folder in your system where you want to save all your programs and all. Okay, this is my workspace. Okay, I'm creating Java. Okay, so some folder name I selected. Okay, with that it will open. Okay. Once if it opens, it looks like this. Right side here we have workbench option. You guys click on workbench. Okay. After launching the Eclipse, click on workbench option. Okay. You will get the view. Okay. Java project view. Okay. After click on workbench, you will get this view. Here left side top corner you can see file. Okay. There under file you can see new. Okay, there you create Java project. Okay, there is a option called Java project. You create project. Okay, click on that. You give Java examples. Okay, create a project. After entering project name and click on finish, left side you can see your project name under package explorer. Okay, if you click on that project, you can see another folder src. Okay, src doesn't have anything right now. We are going to create our new class. Okay, sometime back I showed you how to write a class. Okay, how to write class space class name. This class name can be anything. Okay, and after that starting curly brace and write the variables and then write the methods and then close the curly brace. This is how we'll write a class.
Yeah,
Now we are
meeting of
going
something.
to
Can I call?
write.
Okay, I will call you back in 1 hour.
Okay, see here, this is how we'll write a class. But when you are using Eclipse by default, if you enter class name, that means this only this field, this template you will get automatically class and space class name and inside that variables and all. Okay, depends upon your requirement. You right click on this and you click on class. Okay, that is going to create Java class. This is my first class. Okay.
So, like in this Java class, by default, you have this variable and the other methods already.
No, it won't show anything. Just a class template it will give. And let me show you. Just I gave first class. Okay. So just it created a class. Okay, class name. For time being, you just concentrate on class and class name on this person. Forget about public. In future, next classes, we have something called access specifiers. What is the use of this public? And like public, we have something called protected private. We'll see those later. At that time, you will understand the meaning of this public. Okay? Now, inside this class, I'm going to write a variable in text. Okay. Similarly, I can write a method void. Here only terminology is different. Only method means same as function in other programming languages like C. Okay, just terminology difference. Functionality and all everything is same. Okay, I'm going to write another method. Method 2. Okay, anything, or else you can give function 1. It is just the name of the method. It can be anything. Okay, similarly your class also same. Okay, it is then one name you have to give, that's it. So we have two things, function 1, function 2. Okay, and a variable. This is how we'll write the class. Okay, generally if you take our C program and all, to start the program execution, we need a main method, right? Though you have a number of functions in your C program, always program execution starts from main method. From the main, whatever the method, from the main, whatever the functions you will call, those functions will be executed. Similarly, in Java also, okay, we have a main method, okay, or you can call it as function also, no different. Okay, but terminology is method. Okay, we have a method called main method. Okay, public static void main. For now, you guys try to remember this syntax of main method writing. Later I will explain, okay, each and every token of this one. Okay, string s. Okay, so in our C programming, we have seen only void main. There is no static public. Those things we'll see later. And after that, in C programming, main method doesn't take any arguments, right? So here, we should pass a string array. Okay, this main method takes a string array. That is the reason I'm creating an array. Okay, just I am declaring an array. I'm not creating and passing. Just S is the array name. To specify it is an array, I gave index braces. Okay, and this is of type string type. Okay, like int, float, char, how we have some data types. Similarly, string is a data type in Java. Okay, string type array I am passing. Okay, this if you write a main method with this in this format, then your JVM will understand. Then what is JVM? Okay, to execute all the Java programs, okay, internally there is something called JVM, Java Virtual Mission. Java Virtual Mission is the one which is responsible for executing your Java programs. Okay, like how we have compiler in C. Okay, similarly here also we have Java compiler. After that we have something called Java Virtual Mission, JVM. Okay, JVM is a piece of software. It will come into picture whenever you install your JDK or Java. Automatically it gets installed and it will come into picture when you try to execute or when you try to run your Java programs. Okay, it will only execute. So JVM will understand if you write your main method in this format. Otherwise, it will not recognize. Okay. Now we have something called printf in C, right? Similarly, here we have something called println method. Okay. There is a method println. Okay. There printf method we have to print something on the console or screen. Here also we have something called println method. Okay, that println method is available in some other class. Okay, that we'll understand in some time by end of this class. This is the syntax you consider to write println. Okay, system dot out dot println. Okay, so system dot out dot println. Here welcome to Java class. Okay, so if you write like this, always your program execution starts from main method. Okay, there should be an entry point, right? Though you have n number of methods or functions in C, always program execution starts from void main in C. Here always program execution starts from public static void main. What is the meaning of each token, like public, static, void? All these we'll see in future classes. Okay, now inside that main method I wrote one statement like printf statement. Okay, how we will write printf? Similarly, there is a method println is available in Java. For that you consider to write println, we should use system.out.println. I will explain you later what is the use of this one. Okay, when we go to next sessions, classes and objects, how to create objects for classes and all those things, inheritance and all, we'll understand what is the meaning of each and every token here, whatever I am using. Okay, now I wrote a simple class. Inside that I wrote two things. One is variable, another one is methods. Inside that methods, one method is main method. Okay, main method is available in your class file. Okay, so JVM will understand and it will come and execute. Okay, now how to run it? You right click on, see left side we have Java examples project. Inside that src, inside that you have default package. We'll see later what is default package and all. Inside that we have something called class. Okay, this is the class what we have written just now. Okay, right click on that class file, run as Java application. Okay, when you click on run as Java application, here you can see welcome to Java under console. Okay, are you guys able to see? Let me increase the font size.
Also, can you maximize the Eclipse window?
Yeah, sure. Give me a minute. Bold and 12. Okay. Is it visible properly now? I maximized the window and we executed. Now we are able to see this. Okay. Welcome to Java class. Is it clear? So it executed that. Now we'll try to call the methods which are there above. Okay, function 1 and function 2. So function 1 in C programming will call like this, right? Function 2. But in Java, it is not allowed. Okay. Now, how to call or how to access members of one class? Okay. These function 1, function 2, and X are members of this class, first class. Okay. If you want to access members of any class, first you need to create an object for that class. Okay. What you have to do? Directly you should not access the members of class. Okay. So here my intention is I want to call function 1 and function 2. How can I access it? Directly we cannot access it. We should create an object for that class. Using object only we should access. Now we'll see. 1 second, guys. Hello. I will please accessing this class now. How to access and we will go through our this not. Okay, guys. If you want to access members of any class, okay. First of all, we should create an object. Then how to create an object? Okay. This is the syntax to create an object. First of all, you should write class name for which class you are going to create object. Next one is it's like a variable name, one object name. Okay. And then new, again you should write class name. Okay. In future classes I will explain what is the meaning of each and every statement. For time being, first one for today's class, you remember it is the syntax. Okay. Now I am going to create an object for this class. Okay. First class. First class object name can be anything, so I gave some variable name, new, and class name, and then parentheses. Okay. Now, once if you create object, how to use that object to access the members of the class? Okay. Using dot operator. Okay. Using dot operator, we can access the members of the class. Okay. We can access. This is the syntax. Object name dot. Okay. Next one is member name. Which member you want to access. Okay, now object name dot member name. Now member I am calling function, but object I am using it now. Okay, similarly another function also I am going to use it. Okay, some time back if you don't use this object, it is showing like an error, right? Function 1. Okay, change to static. That will understand why should we change it to static later. Okay, and function 2. Okay, these we cannot access it without object. So that is the reason I created an object and object. Okay, here red symbols in Eclipse means it is an error. Okay, now that error is gone and I'm going to run this program one more time. Before running, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some printf statements in function 1 and function 2 also. Okay, to write system.out.println, just write sysout and control space, automatically it will give you the full statement system.out.println. Okay, this is from function 1. Okay, similar statement I am going to write in function 2 also. Okay, now I have two functions. Okay, function 1, function 2, and another one main. Okay, inside main I am calling function 1 and function 2. Total this class has 3 methods. One is function 1, another one is function 2, another one is main method. Always program execution starts from main. Okay, in main we have to create object of any other class. Okay, and then call the members of that class using the object. Now function 1 and function 2 also should execute, and here we are getting the output. Okay, this is from function 1 and function 2. Got it? Like this, in Java everything is like a class. Inside class what are there? Some methods. Okay, in this full Java everything is like a class. There will be a number of classes. Every class is having some methods. Inside method, some code will be there related to that function. For example, addition means something. For example, if you take testing, okay, there we are going, here we are going to use something called Selenium. For that also, what we do is Selenium people will give us some classes. We should identify which class we need, because inside class there will be some methods like click. If you want to click on some elements, there is a method called click. So that click will be part of some class, right? So all the things, all methods are available in classes only. So we should identify the class and create the object for that class. Using object, you should access that click method or anything. Okay, like this in Java everything is a class. Got it?
Yes.
Now Anil will explain you the course structure, how it will be, and after that we'll go through the Java classes. Okay, after that we'll go to Selenium, okay, for testing purpose, and to make our test proper we'll use test engine framework and all. We will go through the course structure once. Anil?
Yeah,
Anil,
just a minute.
yeah,
Yeah.
please say.
Yeah. Sorry guys, actually I had some connection issue in the beginning, so we could not give a proper introduction. So I thought I will give this introduction, then Venkat will continue with the Java sessions. So yeah, I think you guys will be curious what is the Selenium. So I'll give a 5 minutes intro. So the Selenium is basically a free open source a tool set or a framework which basic intention is to automate any browser related actions or whatever which is coming on any web browser. So since this is open source, this tool becomes so popular because there is no other tool which is as powerful as Selenium which is available out there now. which some of them were there earlier. Then Selenium could surpass all those, and most of in testing domain, most of the people might be familiar with the QTP. So QTP is another competition with Selenium, but still it has its own limitations. And again, that is a licensed software. So yeah, so Selenium, as I mentioned, any browser interactions. So whatever browser you can see or whatever URL you operate through any web browser, that interactions can be automated through Selenium. So any doubt in that? Yeah. So because why I'm specifically telling the web applications related to any web browsers, because there are a lot of interactions or a lot of softwares or desktop applications which has UI, but Selenium cannot automate any of those softwares per se. So it is entirely limited to whatever comes on the web browser. And the popularity, if you see, the main reason it become very popular because it's independent of any OS. So you can implement your automation code using the Selenium and run on top of any OS like a Mac or a Linux or Windows, whatever. And you can the same automated code can be run against any browser as well, like Firefox, Chrome, Safari. So all the browsers, basically whatever available in the internet. And we personally tested Internet Explorer. We personally tested only Chrome and Firefox, and some basic interactions of Internet Explorer as well. But most of the browsers it supports. So that is another advantage, and that is another reason this tool become very popular. And I think I should mention this also. There is one tool which is a Firefox plugin, which comes as part of the Selenium project called Selenium IDE. So this tool is like you can basically record whatever the interactions which is available on the which you basically does on any browser, and not any browser, Firefox, and that sessions will get recorded and you can play back later on. So so that was, I think, another reason which made this tool very popular, because the people who don't want to really automate anything, but they wanted to basically automate some small routines related to any standard browser, any browser interaction. So you can use this IDE tool. So IDE tool made this Selenium much popular, but that project was so enthusiastic, it did not become so powerful in case of automating all the web routines. But still, it is useful tool to give a try. But you cannot use it as a tool for automating a big functional test projects as such. So yeah, that is about Selenium, and this project. Now it is called Selenium 2, which sometimes people will call as WebDriver as well. So this was like a merge of two projects, one Google's WebDriver and earlier Selenium versions. So now they call it as Selenium 2. So they sometimes call WebDriver or Selenium 2. And coming back to the course structure, so what we planned is like the Selenium, basically Selenium library or this tool set as it supports number of languages like Java, Python, Perl, C#, Ruby, and JavaScript. But we are going to cover like any one of the standard language we can choose, and Java is one of the default fit for this one, because the basic library they started implementing on Java itself. And the Java Selenium combination is the one of the popular in the industry as well. And Python also catching up. Sorry, I'm getting a call. Okay, so yeah, so we thought of taking an introduction about Java, not into the detail, and it does not. You don't expect to learn all the concept of Java, but some basic interactions or basic programming concepts of Java, like class and basic things of Java. And then, so that we will be covering around 3 sessions. Then we will move to Selenium. And Selenium, we start with a web location techniques. Then we will move on to a unit test framework. So since everybody's interest is to automate, so there should be some framework which we can easily utilize for automation. So the TestNG is one such unit test framework available in Java. So we will introduce that one as well, so that we can, which will ease up our test automation. So the course structure is overall like Java introduction, then Selenium web location techniques, then TestNG. Then we'll come back to some of the best practices which is available in Selenium automation, and like that we can end the course.
So
So
yeah,
any
so will you only like focus on Java and Selenium combination, not Python, right?
Not Python. So the we Python personally we did not use it, but we have some expertise in Python, not with the Selenium with the Selenium combination. So we will try if the people are interested on that, and also probably last one session or something we'll show how Python will fit with this one, because Selenium is basically a language independent. So if you know Python, you can try in that one. But whatever you learn from this session, you can easily utilize there as well, since it's a language independent tool.
Okay.
Yeah. So and another thing, I think Selenium currently comes packaged with a lot more industrial open source tools like Robo, then Protractor. Protractor is one another ambitious Google project where they entirely choose Selenium for their automation, but they package along with their framework, which is called a Protractor. So they most of the standard, I mean, even the same technique what we learned from here, you can utilize there as well, because they backend use of Selenium only. So Selenium is getting popular, and there are a lot more other people are adding this library along with their standard frameworks. So Robo is another such example.
Okay.
So I think then, any doubt?
Any doubts?
So I will give you a little more deep dive on these introductions, and once the Java sessions are finished, little more detail how Selenium evolved or things like that. But I think introduction this should be enough, right, Arun?
Yeah, if anybody have any doubts or anything, you can clear it with now. Then we will move on to the basic Java sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, all right. Yeah, Venkat, you can
Yeah.
continue your.
Okay, guys. See, like this, you can access members of any class. Okay. Here we have only one class. Inside that only we have three methods. Okay. Though if you want to access members of your own class, see, main method is a member of first class, right? Similarly, function 1 and function 2 are members of the same class. Though you want to access members of your own class, you must need object. Without object, you cannot do anything. Okay? Now, let me create another class. Okay? Example, class 2. Okay? While creating class, here, if you see, there is a option public static void main string array. Okay, string array whose string array name is args, args. Okay, if you select that checkbox, automatically you will get main method also. Okay, this is how. In addition to class template, you will get main method also. Okay, why are we getting this? Because while creating class, we selected or enabled checkbox of include main method. Okay, so here I am going to write another one. Okay, here if I want to access function 1 and function 2. That means the methods which are available in another class. Here first class is one class. It has two methods, function 1 and function 2. These two, if I want to access in another class, okay, here also we should create object. Without creating object, we cannot access. So in Java, everything is like a class. So for the class, you should create object. Using object, you can access the members of that class. Okay. Now I'm going to create object for first class. Okay. First class. Okay. Object name is, it can be anything. So I gave F1. New is the operator. Okay. First class. Okay. Like this will create object. Okay. After creating object, using object, we can access methods. How many methods are there inside that class? Function 1 and function 2. Okay. Object name dot control space, if you enter, automatically it will show what are the methods you can access using that object. It will list all the things. You can select whatever you want to use. Okay. Similarly, function 1 dot, okay, sorry, F1 dot function 2. So without object, we cannot do anything. Okay. So first thing is we have to create object. Using object only we can access. Okay. Similarly, if I want to access, see here, x equal to 100. I am setting some value to variable also. So using object, not only methods, we can access variables also. Okay. System dot out dot println. Let me print the value of x. How to access? F1 dot object name dot x. Okay. Run as Java application. Okay, it executed method function 1 and method function 2. Similarly, it is printing by accessing the value of x. Okay. Now,
Sorry, I lost you a little bit in the middle, so I had to reconnect. So what is that line 6 that you have mentioned? First class F1?
okay. Okay.
So Venkat, some of the participants, right, they don't have any idea about the programming. So
C programming, do they know C programming?
Not much, Venkat.
Just what is variable, what is function, that is enough, not much. Just one main function, if you know, and how to write addition of two numbers, two variables, and if you know, like, yeah.
Venkat, now we'll check all the everyone installed the Eclipse properly, and we'll ask them to write the first hello world, so that after this class they may be little more comfortable to put some of printf statements or some additions or somewhere.
Okay, I'm sure.
Yeah. So after that we will give some a little more on that Java.
Let me explain this statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
sure.
in 10 minutes, I will try to wind up. Then we'll see that are they able to write simple program in their Eclipse and all. Okay.
Yeah, that will help them.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, we wrote classes like this, right? Class and some class name and variables are there and functions. Okay. When you have a class, it is like a template, right? There won't be any memory allocation for that class. If you want to access this function 1 in some way, suppose I wrote one class like that. See, I wrote a class, first class, inside that I declared a variable. Similarly, function 1 and function 2. These are two functions. In Java, we call functions as methods. So we have two methods, function 1 and function 2. Okay. If I want to use those, okay, if I want to use those function 1 and function 2 or index anywhere, for example, I have another class, okay, always program execution starts from main. That is the reason we have a main method also. Inside main, whatever you will write, those things will be executed. Okay. Now my intention is I want to call or I want to access function 1 and function 2 of this class. That means first class. Okay, how can I access? Okay, in Java everything is a class. Inside class some methods will be there. If you want to access any method, first of all you have to create an object. Okay, this is the statement, line number 6 is the statement to create an object. Okay, how to create object? This is the statement. So let me copy paste the same one, commenting line. This is how we'll create an object for any class. Okay, first one, syntax. Syntax is class name space object name. Object name can be anything. That is the reason I kept it in Angular. Okay, and equal to, after that new is a keyword and then space, again class name and then parenthesis. I will explain you guys later what is the meaning of this one. Okay, now this is how we'll create object for any class. Okay, here I am creating the object. Once if you create object, using object we can access members of that class. What are the members of that class? One variable x and two functions, function 1, function 2. Okay, how to access members of a class using object? This is the syntax, object name dot member name. Okay, so I created an object f1 for the class. Okay, and using f1 I am accessing function 1 and function 2, and similarly I am going to access x variable and I am printing that one using println. Okay, println is like a printf function in our C. Here you consider, for time being, you consider system.out.println is one method to print something on the console or screen. Okay, got it? This sixth line, someone asked me what is it. This is the statement to create an object for a class. For which class you want to create object, write that class name and then give some space and some variable name, that is object name, equal to new and then class name once again and then parenthesis. Later I will explain you what is the meaning of this class name and parenthesis, what new will do and all. Is it clear?
Yes,
that is the statement to create an object. Okay?
Yeah, Venkat, it's clear. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Once if you are able to create an object, then only you can access the members of that class using the object. Without object, we cannot do anything in Java. Okay? Now, can you guys, Arun?
Yeah, Venkat.
Shall we check that one? Set up some then.
So,
Just,
guys, it will be like, free, to ask questions in between, so that, we'll not, one guy will not, lose the continuity. So feel free, ask questions in between. So we'll, Venkat, you can, we'll check the installations are correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even I feel the same thing. So that Venkat will get a feedback about the level of understanding of each people, so that he can, some places if you want, he can go a little more detailing.
yeah, correct.
So if anybody can stop and ask questions, so that we will also get a feedback right away, right? So that
if you guys don't understand anything or if you need one more time explanation, ask me. Like some time back someone asked what is the statement of that line number 7. Okay, like if you don't understand or if you are unable to follow, sometimes if it is going fast and all, let us know. Okay, Is everyone installed Eclipse in their systems?
Yes, Venkat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Venkat, one question. So, can we access any class that's within the project? Like we accessed first class
Yes.
from
Yes.
example class.
We can access any class. Not only in this project. See, in future we are going to use Selenium, right? For Selenium guys, how we install Java. Similarly, Selenium people also provided some classes. They made all the classes like zip file, okay, and they provided it to us. In Java terminology, we call it as jar file, okay. So all the classes they combined and they made a jar file and they gave it to us. That not only our project classes, we can create objects for their classes also, and we can use their methods, whatever they have implemented in their classes. For that, first thing is in our project class path, we should specify the path of that jar file. Then our program will understand. Okay? Clear?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So, you'll show that later in a session, right? How to
Yeah,
access.
sure. Yeah, that I will show. Before starting Selenium, how to add jar file of Selenium to our project and how should access there. Okay, before going to Selenium also something called packages. Here, if you see left side under Java examples, we have SRC. Under that, we have something called default package. There also we are going to see some of the things like how to create new packages, okay, how to create new packages in some other project and how to access those and all we'll discuss. Okay.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
so Venkat, in the under SRC, you created default package. It is like automatically it was inside the Eclipse. It's
Yeah, correct. We did not create anything. By default, whenever you try to create a new class, okay, let me show. Uh, Click on SRC and then click on new and then click on class. Okay. By default, first time if you don't have anything, automatically first time whenever you are creating a new class, it will create a package, default package. Okay. We did not create anything. By default, it created. Okay.
okay.
Got it? Here,
Yeah.
if you see package name, it created
Default.
first time one also it has by default. Okay, it all our classes move to default package. Package is like a folder. Consider we have 100 classes. Some classes are related to one category, some classes are related to another category. So to differentiate that one, we'll keep related classes into one package and some other related classes into another package like a folder. Okay.
So in this default package, by default, what are features like it is giving us? In the default package, do we have like any like method or any function by default?
No. But by default, there will get default package. Okay. If you create new package also, there won't be any difference between default package and your package. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to create new package, just on SRC, click on new. Okay. You can see package. Okay. This is my user defined. Like that you can write. So it created another package. Okay. Did you guys able to see?
Yeah.
So there won't be any difference between default package and user created packages. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So yeah, packages are basically just a way to organize your classes. So you let's say you have created some classes which we are going to use as a utility functions. Then you can organize that separately, and some your main controller main functions you can organize in a different package. So this is basically the way to organize your classes according to the implemented functionality. So other than that, it won't give any extra as such to any class or any program.
Okay.
Okay, in Java terminology, we'll call it as a package. Consider in our Windows, it's kind of a folder. Okay, all of you please open your Eclipse, please launch it and then try to create a simple program, Java program. Okay, for that first you need to create a project. Okay. And then create a new class and then try to add one printf statement, that is system.out.println, and try to print a small string. Okay.
Can everyone try that?
Venkat, there is a question from Bindu. Bindu, can you ask that?
Yeah.
I think she typed it there. So when declaring the object, is the class name case sensitive?
One second. Where is she typing?
Bindu, can you ask questions so that it will be easy?
Okay, when declaring the object is the class name. No, see, one second. Actually, class name, whatever you will write, right? It should be as it is. It is a case sensitive. Class name is okay, because here consider C programming. If you have int, okay, if you write in capital int, it will not accept. Right? Similarly, like int, float, how we have data types, class also a kind of data type. We'll see that later. Okay, why do we call it as a data type? Okay, so it acts like a data type and it should be case sensitive also. Okay.
Hi, this is Dibs. I write down something hello or it's working in my.
Okay, fine.
So, Ravi, are you able to do that?
Is anyone facing installation or launching and then writing first program?
I have. Hi, this is Devendra. I have a question. Like, we install JDK. What is the relation of the JDK with this Eclipse?
What is the?
What is the relation of the JDK? We install two
Okay.
software, right? One
Why do
Eclipse
we
and one.
need it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Let me-
Actually, to run our programs, sometime back I mentioned, okay, let me open another one. See, JDK is like Java development kit. It has Java compiler, JVM, Java virtual machine and all. Actually, all our programs are executed by JVM only. Okay, that means JDK is mandatory to compile and run. Then why do we need Eclipse? Just to see, for example, sometime back, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, here I wrote a class. Okay, whatever we have written there, everything I have to write in any editor like Notepad or Notepad Plus, and then I should save this program as class name dot Java. How we'll save C programs with dot C extension. Similarly, we should save our programs with dot Java, and then go to command prompt and where we install that path we have to give Java C is C. If you are not using Eclipse, I will tell you what is the exact tool. Forget about Eclipse, we are not using Eclipse. We wrote this program and saved, okay, usage X dot Java one file. Okay, we saved it and we installed JDK in our system. So whenever you install JDK, there will be something called Java C. Okay, Java C is a Java compiler. Okay, so using Java C might have installed as part of JDK installation in some of the folder. So you should go to that folder or else you should specify full path of Java C, where is it available. Open command prompt. In command prompt run Java C space usage dot Java. That means it is for compilation. After that, for running, you should use Java command and usage. Okay, like this we have to run. First we will write code like this, one class, and we will save that file using .java extension, and then by using these two commands will run from the command line. So if you are not using Eclipse, you should manually write class and methods and like this. If you create an object also, you must know what are the members of that class if you want to access, right? Those are the some of the limitations, and in the initial we used to follow all those things. Now, what is the benefit of Eclipse? JDK is there, I am able to write my program in editor and I am able to run it from command prompt successfully. Then why do we need this Eclipse? This is IDE is integrated development environment. It will give you some of the features like easily you can debug and easily you can write. If you just give the class name automatically, it will only create the class template, and if you type the object name automatically, whatever the functions or methods supported by that class, it will list all these things. To get all these features, we are using Eclipse. Okay, if you install Eclipse also, to run your Java program, you must need Java compiler and JVM. Those won't come with Eclipse. Those are part of JDK. So JDK is required for Java things. To make your programming simple, Eclipse. Okay, this Eclipse we can not only for Java programming, for other purposes also. You can write some other programs also. Okay, got it? It
Yeah.
is a development environment to make our development ease. That is for JDK is for support Java. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So without Eclipse also we can do our programming and we can achieve whatever we are doing now. But it will take some time. For example, in our programming while writing in editor, that means in Notepad, if I do some mistake, okay, it may not show there. But in case of if you are using editor, if you miss this semicolon, immediately see guys, here it is showing syntax error. Please insert one semicolon to complete this statement. Like that, it will give some hints. Later sessions we'll see how to run debug our program. Okay, using Eclipse we can go in debug mode. Okay, when it is executing your program, at particular point of time, if you want to see what value that variable holds, that also you can see and you can proceed step by step. All those things we can achieve if you use Eclipse.
Venkat, this is Rahul. I did try to print something, it worked. So
Okay.
just wanted to know some details about the public, the main class. So what are the items we are putting inside the parenthesis after main, the string
Okay.
and arg. Yeah.
You mean these things, the statements, what?
No, after main you put string and then.
Okay, within the parentheses, whatever we have written. Okay, see, if you want to call a method, any method let it be. Suppose I have a add method in general, forget about Java program. I have a add method provided by somebody. They will expect two arguments. Okay, if it is integer related addition, they will that add method or add function will expect two parameters whenever I call, right? Those two are, if it is integer addition, integers, if it is float, float numbers. Similarly, this main method also will be called by, this main is called by JVM. Okay, as per Java standard, if JVM wants to understand, okay, in JVM, what kind of method they are calling is, there is a main method which takes a string array. Okay, this is whatever I wrote inside this is a string array. Okay, string is a data type like int, float, char. String is one type of data type in Java. Okay, and it is a class name also. As I said some time back, each class name acts like a data type. Okay, so string is a data type. To tell it is an array, I am using array indexes. Okay, and args, args is my array name. Okay, array name is args. So here main method, always we should pass for main method, we should pass a string array. Okay, so data type I cannot change. So array we cannot change. Array name, this can be ABC or XYZ, it can be a name, right? So we can change anything. Got it?
Yeah, I understood that. But what are the other possible values? Instead of string, you said it could be float or it could be.
No. It should be string array only. Okay? Always this one will be called by JVM. Okay?
Okay, so that will be constant. That
To execute our Java programs, it is invoked by that guy. That guy will call with this. Okay?
Okay, clear. Yeah, thank you.
He will expect a main method with a string array. He will come and execute only that method. Okay?
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Guys, see here, when you open Eclipse, right? We created one project. Similarly, you can create a number of projects also. Inside project, you can have packages. Here, if you see left side of Eclipse, we have default package. Another one is user-defined package. User-defined package doesn't have any classes right now. We can add later. Okay. So project contains something called subparts called package. Sorry, project contains some sub things called package. Inside package, we have something called classes. Inside classes only, we will write all variables and methods. Okay, one class can use another class members. Okay, to use first, we should create object of that class. Which class member we are going to use. For that class, we should create object. Okay, using that object dot member name, we can access it. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So Venkat, for the class, like we have a public class, what are the other kinds of classes we can create, like private and any other types?
Yeah, we can write like, see, like this public, we have something called private, okay, something called protected, other types. If you don't write anything also, it will accept. That is by default. There won't be any keyword like default, okay. If you are not specifying anything means by default, it is, we call it as default, okay. So you can write private.
The default one,
you
will
can
it be a
write
private class?
What?
If we don't write anything, the default one, will it be private or can we access it from other classes
Yeah,
also?
no, if you don't write any, consider we have four types. One is public, another one is private, another one is protected, last one is default. But there won't be any keyword like default. If you are not writing anything, it is considered like a default. Okay? So if you write public or protected, or if you don't write anything, that means default. It can be accessible by others. If you write private, others cannot access it. Okay, in future classes we will see, okay, this public, protected and private, where do we use? Not only for classes, we will write before method also. If you see main method, we wrote something called public. If you write public, who can access? If you write private, okay, who can access? Okay, to whom it will be available, to whom it will not be available, we'll see in detail. Okay?
Okay.
So if you remove this also, it should work.
So Venkat, this is Deeps. So before next class, what are the preparation we should do?
Yeah. What I suggest is, just if you guys have any material or something, please go through C programming basics, like just how to write variables, how to write functions, how to call the functions. That's it. Okay?
For C programming, right?
Yeah. Not fully C programming, just how to declare a variable. Okay? And how to use those variables like in another function, and how to write a function and how to call that function. Outside, if you write a add method or add function with two arguments for addition of two numbers, okay, how to write and how to call that add inside your main. Okay, if you know that one, that much is enough. Okay, and if time permits, please go through for loop, while loop. Okay, these things will use, and condition statements like
Venkat, in the
if
talk
else,
we have some
those are
information.
fine.
So I will
Okay.
send that link to everyone so they can just go through the basics from there.
Yeah, good. That will.
Yeah, just I think the whole purpose of to just understand this Java so that we
Yeah.
can utilize this concept while we will use Selenium, right? It's
Yes. Exactly.
Java is a ocean, so I don't think as a QA, after having so many years of experience, we can go and then dig everything about Java. But we need to know
Yeah.
what we actually
Yeah,
need
so you
to
need to have
apply for
some knowledge
Selenium, right?
of class
So
and
that
this object-oriented
In
concepts.
this
So that is
Java,
available in the
yeah.
blog which we created. So I will mail you the link for that.
okay, okay, yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Main thing is here we are going to cover OOPS concepts like encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance, and then we'll go through exception handling. These are the things we'll use in Selenium. Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So
Arun?
yeah, probably we can wind up today, right? Venkat?
Yeah, if you guys want me to continue, I can continue some more time, or else we'll wind up and we'll continue
I
next.
think some people want to go out or something.
Okay, then fine. Next class we'll see. Okay, just everybody, if anyone is facing problem in setup and all, please drop us a mail. Okay, we'll work on
So,
that.
just
Because
want to make sure that everybody do a print,
correct.
print is everyone have done.
Yeah, I was able to.
I also want to do that.
Okay, Rahul.
Yeah, I printed my program. Yeah.
Okay, and what about Ravi?
Yeah, I am able to do that.
Okay, so then you can now the class will be after 2 weeks, so read about function, little about method, and if conditional statements,
Yeah.
all those things, so that it will be easy. If you are interested, you can do some more addition or some programming in Java that will help you.
And are we recording this session? So if you want to go back and refer something,
Yeah, we will post in YouTube and give you the link after this class.
perfect. And what date is the next session?
The week after Saturday, after the long weekend.
Okay.
Okay, so the 27th.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will send a mail to the mailing list with all the information, and yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Venkat.
Guys,
Thank you.
have